who is starting a hunger strike against the corrupt government of LDF. BJP State President Shri Surendran ji, all the members and office bearers of BJP present on the occasion, dear friends, I feel that this is a unique case of corruption in the recent times in entire India. We have never seen such misuse of CM office, such blatant misuse for smuggling is absolutely unheard and unseen. And I think we must thank K. Surendran ji for not only unearthing this entire scandal, but constantly fighting for justice, constantly fighting to bring the culprits to the books. And I think with today's hunger strike, the entire LDF government, including the Chief Minister, will be totally shaken, and I think that it is high time that the Chief Minister comes clean on the entire issue, and if some morality, if he possesses, it is high time that he should resign. This is a classic case where a lady like Swapna Suresh, who is a former employee of UAE consulate with no qualification, absolute no qualification, just a matriculate, is roped into the government office, into a institution directly working under IT department. Was she IT expert? No. What was she appointed for? She was appointed as liaison. As myself, I have been a chief minister for last 5 years. I have been in public life for last 25 years. But I have never seen government requiring a liaison officer. It was not for coordinating the works for IT department, but it was a clear liaison to help gold smuggling. And I think the way IT Secretary and Principal Secretary of Chief Minister was giving patronage to the lady who was directly into this gold smuggling along with her accomplice, it is very clear that this entire episode was controlled and guided through the office of Chief Minister. It's the highest office of lawmakers in a state. It's an office which is supposed to head the government. It is an office which is supposed to propose and make laws so that the entire legal work is carried on. But when same office is utilized for illegal activities, and one more thing surprises me, I've never seen that a principal secretary of chief minister holds charge of any department. This doesn't happen. It's a conflict of interest. Because every single file of any department which is significant, which has policy decisions involved, comes to the chief minister office. So by default, the principal secretary of chief minister's office is in charge of coordinating all the departments. Then why chief minister allowed the principal secretary of his office to hold additional charge of IT department? Did he knew that there was a different liaison between the lady and the principal secretary, and it's not the first time that the gold has been smuggled, but now it is clear that with this modus operandi, they have been smuggling gold for a long time. And even after the entire episode came to fore, why chief minister was in a denial mode? Initially, he criticized BJP state president when he raised the issue. When the issue came to media, then he tried to shield the principal secretary. Why? If you are clean, if you have no involvement, it was your duty to sack the secretary immediately. But you did not do that. It was only after pressure from opposition and especially BJP and the media that the chief minister acted. Otherwise, I don't think that he was in any mood to take any action on the higher officials. And even while taking action, the wrong was not attributed. It was not an action taken for a smuggling scam, but it was an action taken because the civil servant did not act according to the service rules. Here was a brazen criminal act, and in such brazen criminal act, how can you protect if you have no link to it? And now, fortunately, NIA has taken over the entire case. Had it not been with the NIA, I'm sure the crime branch of the Kerala government and Kerala police was under tremendous pressure to suppress the facts. And now look at the facts which are coming out. It's not mere smuggling of gold. It is a route to provide resources for anti-national activities, for creating internal disturbance in the country. The people who are linked with this gold scam are the same people who have been funding anti-CAA protest, who have been funding the activities which have been anti-national. These are the same people who have been harboring the recruitment to ISIS. And unfortunately, whether it is UDF or LDF, on one agenda they are common, and that is the agenda of supporting these people who are in turn creating disturbances, a truly communal agenda to create disturbance, internal disturbance in not just Kerala, but in different parts of our country. And it is high time that the people of Kerala should be freed from this corrupt LDF who is governing and UDF who was governing. There is a stiff competition of corruption between LDF and UDF, and the number of scams which we have seen in last few years, I think each of the regime, the earlier UDF regime or LDF regime, they are breaking all the records of corruption, whether it is the earlier scams like solar scam or gold scam. There are power brokers. Who is Swapna Suresh? She is a power broker of LDF government, of P. Vision's government. How can she have such close relations with so many ministers and dignitaries in the government and the assembly? How can she closely work with all these people if she is just a liaison in the IT department? Why ministers are colliding and collaborating with her on different issues? It's not simple, so simple. It's power broking. We have seen in the earlier government also, the way in the solar scam, people were duped. The people of Kerala were cheated at the instance of another power broker. This system and regime of power brokers and corrupt government should go. It's high time that Kerala is freed from these power brokers. And I think the last 4 years of this government have been the 4 years of corruption. The sprinkler scam, it's a clear conflict of interest. In such COVID situation, in the lockdown stage, you award a work to a company which is clearly related to your daughter. It's pure conflict of interest. And I think we must thank the Honorable Court that it intervened and called off the contract. Otherwise, all sensitive information, and all of us know that today the data is one of the most important thing. Data is gold, data is oil, and all this data was compromised in this entire deal. We have seen that even at the time of floods, there has been huge mismanagement by this government, and in the flood relief, there has been huge corruption. Honorable Modi ji's government has given 2,600 crores for Kerala rehabilitation, and we want to ask, where is this money? Where have you spent it? There are no records. The way criminals are being protected, a murder convict is seen in a private wedding at CM house is something which clearly shows that entire crime syndicate is being harbored at the behest of the government. There have been so many scams. If I start reading all the scams, I think I'll run out of the time. But one thing is clear, that this is a corrupt government. This is a government which is harboring criminals and crime. This is a government which is directly involved in smuggling. This is a government which has been harboring those people who have been supporting anti-national activities and who have been supporting recruitment of Kerala youth into ISIS. And this government is also anti-Hindu government. The customs, traditions of Hindus are disrespected. Why? Secularism means that you should treat every religion at par, on the same standards. But for this government, secularism means anti-Hindu activities. Secularism means Hindu bashing. In a country like India, whose heart is Hindu tradition, whose blood is Hindu culture, and Hindus have never disrespected any other religion, we cannot. However, if the government feels that in the name of secularism, Hindus can be bashed, I think it is high time that government realizes that this is not going to happen. We have seen the mismanagement of this government and clear disrespect in the Sabrimala issue. And I think one must not forget the way they have treated in this entire issue. Today, we can see that even at the time of Corona, the way numbers are suppressed, the way there has been a mismanagement in the Corona handling, I think there has been a clear failure on the part of this government. I think it is high time that Kerala should start walking hand in hand with Prime Minister Modi ji. LDF and UDF are two sides of same coin. 9 ministers of UDF government are under scanner. Same is with LDF. So many ministers have to resign. And now this is a scam of scam where the CM office itself is involved into smuggling. I must congratulate Shri K. Surendran ji for fighting like a tiger. It is not a fight to dislodge a government. It is a fight to give justice to the people of Kerala. Kerala deserves a clean government. Kerala deserves a government like Prime Minister Modi ji, where in last 6 years, not a single scam has happened. The entire government has been run with utmost transparency. This is what Kerala deserves. And I'm sure, Surendran ji, you have started this upvas, this hunger strike. It is just a beginning. I'm sure with all this fight which you have put up, there will be a day very soon when people will prefer BJP, people will reject LDF and UDF, and they will bring Modi ji's government, a clean, transparent government, a people's government, a government which is pro-development into the state of Kerala. My all best wishes for your hunger strike. The entire nation, the entire BJP is with you. Thank you. Namaskar.
ഏറ്റവും ചെറിയ പ്രായത്തിൽ തന്നെ